Welcome, everybody, to Why You Need These Drops. I am Michelle McKay from Oxford, Mississippi. And if you guys have been watching the news, you know that we were all hit with a major ice storm since our last call on last Monday night. And so, whew, God is good. And we had gas heat and generators that got us through. But Cynthia is in an area where she was not as fortunate. She does have her power back, but evidently a power line got hit this afternoon. So her Wi-Fi is out, but she does have power. So praise God. But welcome, everybody. So thankful you are here. And I am so excited to have Brandon Mullen today from Lafayette, Indiana. Right? Is that right, Brandon? So it's funny, Brandon, because I'm from Lafayette County, but I'm from South Mississippi where they do pronounce it Lafayette. So it's funny because here we pronounce it Lafayette. But y'all, Brandon has such an amazing testimony with the drops, and I cannot wait for y'all to hear from Brandon. So Brandon has been a production assistant and I say he's turned entrepreneur because he now has his own business because he is sharing the drops with everybody he can on social media and all throughout. So, Brandon, I just can't wait to welcome you and have you share with everybody why you need these drops. So, tell us, Brandon, how you got started and how you were exposed to the drops.
All right. Well, hi everybody. I'm Brandon Mullen, like Michelle said. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody and say how grateful I am for every one of you joining our live, whether you're watching it the replay or not. We're just grateful for all of you, and we can't do what we love unless without you guys. So we really appreciate that. Like Michelle said, my name is Brandon Mullen. I'm from Lafayette, Indiana. I am a production associate for Subaru. I've done that for 10 years. I work 10 hours a day building cars for Subaru. I'm also a single full-time dad to soon-to-be 7-year-old twins. They'll be 7 years old in 3 weeks, so we're pretty excited about that. And I mean that keeps me busy. I'm also a co-owner to what's called the Market on Main. It's a project that we put together. It's a little downtown shop here in Lafayette, Indiana. It's a year-round farmers market. So I'm pretty busy. I got a bunch of irons in the fire. So that's why I need these drops. So I grew up with an obese family. I watched them struggle with yo-yo diets, and I knew there was a better way. So when I was in my mid-teens, I just started diving into biochemistry. I absolutely loved, what food and everything did inside of your body, and I knew that my goal was to learn the new science about just how to help my family lose weight. And during all that research, I realized one thing, that food is medicine, right? It just gets right down to your cellular nutrition, and it knows exactly where to go, and it's to me it's the root of a lot of our diseases. So the more good food we can put in our body, and that's what these drops are, is good food that we can put into our body, along with our Slender Eyes cookbook and approved food list. So it all works together really well. So so in that all that research, I kind of grew up and became known as like the health guy. Everybody would come to me and with their health questions, and they knew that I would either come with the recent science, or that I would do my part to find their answers. And so they came to trust me. So that's what I kind of grew up doing and stuff. And then I got started with Partner Co. It'll be about a year in April. And my sister, Mindy Mullen, or Mindy Miniga, she went to her first Partner Co event, and she came back fired up, and she was ready to talk to me. So she knew, she said that you'd be great at this business with your health knowledge and all the people that you know, and so I was grateful for her to reach out for me. And so to be honest with you, you know, I I signed up, and I wasn't ready to do anything. I just got off of a custody divorce battle with my kids, and I was really stressed and like it just I couldn't afford it actually. Like to tell you the truth, I couldn't afford the drops. So I decided that I was going to try the drops, and I tell you, in the first week, I'd already had so much energy. It was amazing. And so I went to work and I'm just running circles around all my coworkers. It felt amazing. And I tell you what, like once you feel that, you'll never go back, I promise. It's amazing. So then in the second week, I kind of started noticing that I was much more patient with my kids, and that felt amazing. So, you're able to just between the situation that happens, you're just able to take that one pause and take a deep breath, and like that before that reaction, and that meant so much to me as a single father who just had a lot going on. So, of course, I was like, what is in these? This is crazy. So I did my research, I went to work and found out all the stuff that was in it. I did all my research on what they do within the body, and it just the work gave me the opportunity to start talking about the drops, and that was a really big deal for me. So my transformation is not a weight loss story. For me, it's mental health. I mean, I've always been in pretty good shape, and I eat pretty well. And so like it's all the mental benefits that work for me as a single dad. I'm busy all the time. I try to juggle the kids, I try to juggle the job, I try to juggle all the nighttime routines of homework and all that kind of stuff. And so my stress is always high. So after, like I said, after taking the drops for a couple of weeks, I noticed that I was so much more patient with my kids, and these drops were just making me a better father. And so like when you come home from work and you're so tired and your kids don't get all of you, that puts a strain on your guys' relationship. And these drops allow me to have the energy when I come home from work and have that quality time with my kids. That is so worth it to me. It's amazing. And that's how the drops have changed my life and changed my kids' life. So, but with that said, our kids follow our lead. We are their example. So when we can show up, have fun, show them patience, and they're gonna grow up doing the same. So they're gonna watch us. They're gonna pass those traits down to their kids, and it just goes from there. It just creates that ripple effect, and generations to come. And that's just by putting some drops, 1 milliliter of drops under your tongue, holding them there for 30 seconds, and swallowing them. I mean, it's just that easy, and you become the the person that your family deserves, right? You have that energy. You can go for walks after work. That creates the conversations with you and your kids and keeps them off the screen. And to me, that's worth its weight in gold. That's amazing to me. So when I said I couldn't figure out, how I was going to afford the drops, I needed them. Like I had to figure out how to afford them. So I broke it down into it's $5.71 a day. I mean, like I knew there was so much that I was wasting $6 a day on. So you go to work and you figure out what $6 can I remove today, and then you figure out how to make these drops affordable, because to me they're a necessity. I'll never go without them. So then, when after a couple months taking the drops, I decided now it's time for me to invest in myself. So PXP was coming up in September in Dallas, and I got my ticket and I went. And this was my way to not only like talk about how I felt, but to give me the vehicle to show people how they could feel. And it was a great experience. It was an amazing experience. I'm speechless of just trying to like reminisce the way that PXP was. It's just absolutely amazing. So with that said, like imagine, if we could all just take a breath like that when before we react. I mean, that changes the world, and it just takes us out of our fight or flight mode and gives us, makes us better human beings and be able to, uh, be nicer to each other. And I love that about the drops. They lower your cortisol so much that you're not in that fight or flight mode. You're not reactive to everything, and that means a lot to me. So for me, it's not about the money. To me, it's about as helping as many people as I can to escape that fight or flight mode, and it just allows people to have that space to help others, and that's how we change the world. We take everybody out of that fight or flight mode. So Michelle has this slogan that's we need to put all these we need to put these drops in the hands of billions. And can you just imagine that for a second? Can you imagine putting the drops in the hands of billions and taking them out of that fight or flight mode so they don't react to everything? I mean, that changes the world in an instant.
Yep.
I mean, like, help us do that. Just one dropper at a time. So that's my story. I appreciate you guys listening to me. That's why I need these drops.
Well, I love that, Brandon. And what you did is you opened up the door for people to see this is not just like my story. My story is not about weight loss, and yours was about mental health and being a good father. I mean, you are the sole parent for your children, that you had to be there for your children, right? And so you didn't know what you didn't know. And so you didn't know that these drops would give you that kind of peace and that kind of calming energy that you needed. And I think that's so important for people to know that this is not just weight loss. This is good cellular nutrition in your body. And it's so true that once we get that cellular nutrition in our body and it feeds the cells, the tissues, the organs, and then the body knows what to do, right? It's so intuitive. And so your body healed itself in terms of some of the, overwhelmingness, like you said, the fight or flight. And so I think a lot of people don't realize they can be in this fight or flight. You think about this season, not just an ice storm in North Mississippi, but during the winter, how many times do we hear of people that are depressed, right? Just because they're not out as much or they're not, the daylight hours are limited, right? A lot of depression during this season. And so, can you imagine what the drops would do for so many, right? So, not just talking about a single dad and you having another job, but so many people that struggle with their mental health during this season. So, thank you for opening up the door for us to talk about that and to talk about mental health. And for any droppers that might be on the call, do we have any guests on the call? I just always like to ask because I know a lot of times we're brand partner heavy. We don't always have guests, but I do. If you're a guest, put a one in the chat because I want to address you if you are a guest, and it may mostly be brand partners. And if it is mostly brand partners, I do want to without Cynthia here, I'm going to try to share my screen. But since we're on Facebook Live, I do see one guest. Since we are on Facebook Live, I'm going to try to see if it will allow me to share my screen. And so, Brandon, if you'll just help me, there are people still coming on. If you'll help me admit anybody else coming on, because I won't be able to see it. But y'all cross your fingers. I'm going to try to share my screen. And let's see if I can. I'm not seeing where I can. It may not let me, y'all, because I'm not seeing what I need to see. Because I had the slide deck pulled up, but it's probably not because I'm on Facebook Live. It's not going to let me. So I'm just going to tell you guys. So if you are a dropper on the call, or we call one of our people who are on the drops, or clients who are trialing the drops, or maybe you've bought the drops retail from somebody that invited you on the call, you have options. And we're so excited that for the next 11 days, you can join our wholesale membership that's normally $29.95 in the US and $37.95 in Canada. And for those of you in Norway, I don't know what that is in Norway, but it is free. Right now it is free. So like Brandon told you, he could not afford the drops or didn't think that he could. Then he started looking at what does his sickness cost, right? What would his lack of health cost him? So instead of purchasing them retail, so you paid either $160 or $167 for retail, you can buy three and get one free. So if you've got a couple of friends that might want to purchase drops and trial them with you, then you can sell those three and get yours for free. That's a 4-pack, right? So you can actually get your drops paid for in that and join our wholesale membership. So just like Brandon said, my logo is let's get these drops in the hands of billions. And if y'all saw my post today, we have over 10,000 people on our team and we want tens of thousands more, right? Because the more people we get on the drops, the more people we have sharing them with other people. And that's our best chance for getting them in the hands of billions, right? So we want to help you get the drops at the best discount. If you're in a situation like Brandon was, hey, he saw how they were changing his life, how they made him a better father. So he figured out a way to afford them, right? So if you're taking the drops and sharing them with other people, we're going to pay you well to do that. Okay. So it's the best of both worlds that you get to be a product user and you get to make money on sharing the drops with other people. So there are other options for getting the drops at the best discount. So please get back with the person that brought you on this call and let them share with you. And if you are willing to share these drops on social media and share your story or share your testimony, you can truly help us get these drops in the hands of billions. So Brandon, I am so thankful that you were on tonight. You did a fabulous job and you just shared with so many people what these drops have done for you. And I know that you are going to impact millions of lives with your story. And I just wish you the best of luck. If there's anything that I can do to help you in your business, I am here to help. And then those of you that are guests on this call, please get back to the person who invited you so that we can get you enrolled in our wholesale enrollment for free before this promo ends, okay? And we want you to join in where you fit in and help us get these drops in the hands of billions, okay? Well, thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate you being on tonight. Thanks to each and every one of you guys for being on. We're here every Monday night. We do not miss 6:30 Central Time. So look forward to seeing you guys and hope to see many of you in Destin. So Brandon, I'm assuming you're going to be in Destin, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So I can't wait to hug you in Destin. And Destin is going to be an amazing event for us all. So we know that it's going to expand our business to the next level. And so I can't wait to see you guys and hug your necks. Everybody have a great night.
Grateful for you all.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.